the university, right? My name is Ali. Today I want to talk to you about how to live to persist. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because having come to Hong Kong for the past 2 years, I see the level of stress and the expectations and everything that is demanded from you. So I wanted to start off, to kick it off, I just want to see what is the sort of, what we have in common with the people around here. So who's an engineering student? Can I see some hands? Alright, we got a good number. Alright, who has worked in sales and marketing before? I worked about 10 months, I love it. Alright, that's less. Alright. Who enjoys volunteering? Anyone? Yeah, I guess everyone. If you don't, you should give it a try. You'll probably like it. Who has lived in a war? No? Suddenly no hands? Okay. Who has held a gun? This is easier. Yeah. I put the easier one at last. So you see that we have some stuff in common, some things not in common. And I guess today I want to focus more about the things that are not in common. So, when I was asked to talk to you about something, I was thinking of something, what should I talk to engage you, to sort of connect to you as a crowd. And I thought there's nothing better than a life journey. So today I want to talk to you about how I came from here, very old picture, but nice smile, to here. Now, this smile is the same, still cheeky, but there's a lot that has changed with me. And it has come through the journey. So I was born in Iraq, 1993, if that matters. And I was not just born in a hospital. I was born into sanctions. Now, for those who don't know, sanctions are when there is an economic sort of restriction on your country, you can't trade, you can't export, import, and it just literally cripples the economy. And in the words of Hamid, who was a Nobel Peace Prize winner, sanctions are a bad idea. And I testify that. So the problem is, even though I never realized at that time, that was the first time I actually got my lesson of persistence. Through my parents. Now, this thing jumps. Yeah. Through my parents. Now, my parents did not want us to feel the impact of the war, so my dad was working 18 hours a day, my mom was a teacher, while raising 3 kids. And just to put things into perspective, you work for 30 days, and your salary can only get you 30 eggs. You're working for 1 egg a day. So that's how bad the economy was. And frankly, my siblings and I did not feel the effect of the sanctions as bad as maybe other kids did. But looking back at it, they persisted every day in their life. And mind you, sanctions were 10 years. So it wasn't just, okay, it's a month exam period, I'm gonna get over it, just work hard for 1 month. No, it was 10 years, it was a lifestyle, it was a habit for them, it was a daily basis. And they did not fail to persist every day. Then next thing, war happened. Now this is Baghdad, when it was beautiful, this is during the war. The war broke out in 2003, the US invasion, and things changed. A lot of uncertainties, a lot of fear, random bombings, shootings. I was shot at, with a sniper, apparently a bad sniper because I'm here. But yeah, so 3 years later, or 2 years later actually, I got to high school, and there was this school that I really wanted to get to. It was called Baghdad College. It's very old. It's one of the best, or not the best, high schools in Baghdad or Iraq. So it was my aim. I was like, I want to get there. I want to get education. I found it really important and crucial in my life. The problem was, it was in one of the most volatile areas in Iraq, or Baghdad. A lot of resistant bombing, shooting happens there. So I signed up to the school, but what I didn't sign up to is what I was getting on the way. For example, we were sitting in a classroom, and suddenly we hear like a sound of a bomb falling on the class towards us, and suddenly that field here, we got a mortar, which is like a small rocket. It's not so bad, but yeah, it fell right there, and my class was like about there. Then it hit. Then we heard the second one approaching, and it hit. third one approached, and by then I looked at my friend, I'm like, this is falling on our class. Like, there's no way it could miss. But it didn't fall, and it missed. So, you can imagine what I did next. Next day I went back to school. Now, what I want you to imagine is that school was my goal. I wanted to be there every day. That's what I wanted to do or be. And I had to go through so much just to be there. Now I want you to change that school with whatever is your aim, whatever is your goal, whatever you want to do in life. And be ready to go through as much as I did to be there, just to get to your goal. Another story, for example, was we were heading back home, and there was some shooting, I don't know what, it was a mess. So something told us, I don't know, God, if you believe in God, sixth sense, to get off the car. And we did, we just hid in a garden nearby, and suddenly there was a military vehicle came, stopped right next to our car, and they started spraying bullets, shooting randomly. And we were hiding like on the ground, and the trees we were hiding under had their wood fall on us. And I saw friends break out, you know, the friends were crying and stuff like that. And I didn't know what was going to happen. So I called my parents and I'm like, I'm going to be late a bit. But in fact, I'm like, is it going to be the last time I see them? And for that's when you realize the worth of life that you're having, and you realize how much you need to, you know, struggle. Life is a struggle sometimes. How much you need to go through. And that day, on another occasion, let's bring up another occasion, there was another shooting also. And I was in a car watching, there was this guy running, and there were two guys with guns running behind him. So I was literally watching a movie. And I'm like, please run, like, can you like run faster? Unfortunately, he slipped, and he was shot, and I saw him die. And I got two things from watching this. First thing was, don't slip in life, all right? Run well. And you can take it on a further is, don't back up from what you're doing, keep going. Another thing, I got sick in that day. I literally went home, I slept for the whole day until next morning. I think I got home at 3, and then just slept until next morning. That's a lot of sleep. But yeah, I woke up the next day, I went back to school. So my whole school life for 3 years, I studied there from Form 1 to Form 3 in Hong Kong style. And every day I had to go through something, you know? If not, we'll just like play music in the car. Yeah, but mostly it was things like that. And I persisted through every day to get to where I want to be. And now that was a daily goal, but take it on a broader perspective. Wherever you want to get to, work as much as I did, go through as much as I did. At least promise yourself to make that effort. And I believe I did this with two things, which probably like, it's not really enough two things, but just to summarize it. First is knowing what matters. Now Napoleon said patience, persistence, and other stuff make an unbeatable combinations for success. Now I'm not claiming to be successful, I'm quite far from that actually. I don't have a job yet. But I realized that persistence is part of the recipe, it is an ingredient. And that's why I hope that after today that you will add it to your dish. Another thing that actually helped me is, it was a principle to live by. Now I'm a born Muslim, so my parents have ingrained that within me. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, acquire knowledge and impart it to the people. And so that school was something I really wanted to be at for that reason. And again, if you're not a person of religion, find a principle to live by. Anything. Persistent itself can be your principle. But of course, as a human, having one principle, you're not going to do so well. Get more principles, but the point is, make persistent one of your principles. And then, life took a turn, and I flew. I went from Iraq to Malaysia. I stayed in Malaysia for a while. Now the thing with this travel was, In Iraq, because of the war period, no one paid attention to, for example, extracurricular activities. Because it's war, you just want to go from school to home, right? Now, my whole perception of education, because I was suddenly told, okay, now you gotta actually do things, not just study. And I was in a country where I did not know the language, I did not know the people, I did not know the food, I didn't understand the food actually. And I only knew 4 people, which are my parents and my 2 siblings. So you can imagine how hard it was. So I started school. I started in the 2nd semester, so I actually had to catch up on the 1st semester on my own with no help given to me by the school whatsoever, while learning the 2nd semester and actually trying to understand the whole extracurriculum thing, like why do we do them? So it was a lot of change, but I guess I persisted through it. Now I speak Malay. I learned Malay within a year and have a conversation. Yeah, so I learned within a year. I picked up my studies, everything. I did well in extracurricular activities, and I survived. And I guess in that case, I can say I persisted through that phase of time. And since then, it's been a roller coaster ride. My family actually moved from Malaysia to Canada. By the way, I really like how I made the map, so I hope you can appreciate it. Yeah, so from there we moved from Malaysia, Canada, before coming here to Hong Kong. And every single country has brought its own obstacles, its own struggles to adapt to. So I guess my message here is persist. Especially in education, I know how much expectations are placed upon you. You may sometimes, they might look at your grades rather than you. But don't look at all that. Look at your goal. Just keep your eyes set on it and persist. And with that, you'll definitely reach. I mean, if you don't die, I didn't die in war, so I reached, I guess. So if you're not going to die, you're going to make it, right? So that's the main message. Stay focused on your goal and persist. So with that, my moral is live to persist.